Now, I really wanted to do a tad bit of a different video for you guys. In today's video, we're going to be speaking about side hustles and how you should actually look at side hustles from a newbie entrepreneurial standpoint. Now, before we get into that, I'm going to tell you how most people out there in the world think about side hustles, how they actually do side hustles, right? Like your average person out in the world, when it comes to a side hustle, it's typically one of two things. It's either one going to be something that you do outside of the 9 to 5 job that you have. It may be something that's preventing you from having to get a second job, this side hustle of yours. Now, there number two are going to be some people out there in the world that their side hustle is more of, so to speak, a main thing that they do. They're not necessarily someone that has a 9 to 5 job, but the money that they're able to make within their side hustle is enough money to sustain them in life, have some money to save, whatever the case may be. Now, as a full-fledged business owner, I'm going to let you guys know, I believe that both of these reasons that people use side hustles is totally wrong for a few different reasons. And don't get me wrong, some of the people that use side hustles in those two different manners may be people that they're happy with it within their life, and they're not necessarily someone like myself or someone that's fully looking to take the real entrepreneurial journey into creating businesses full-fledged and things like that. They may be happy with the amount of money or point that they're at within their side hustle business, or even if they consider this side hustle to be a business. There's some people that have side hustles, they don't consider it to actually be a business. For an example, like you have a lot of people out there doing DoorDash, Uber Eats and things like that. It's a side hustle, but that particular side hustle is not necessarily something that they consider to be a business, as opposed to if you have someone out there that they have a car detailing business. That is actually a business that they do, and it is also a side hustle. But people might actually be happy with where they're currently at. There are many people out there that they may not necessarily be looking to go from that side hustle into a full-fledged business where they're making millions of dollars or even having employees, different responsibilities. And I really think like the main key to a lot of it is the whole responsibility piece of it all, is because when I speak to many different people out there, the truth of the matter is that a lot of people are scared of the responsibility piece when it comes to, building their own business, having employees and different things that they have to maintain. It is the responsibility piece of it all that makes them say, hey, you know what? Let me just stay here in my 9 to 5 job, or let me stay in this side hustle that I'm doing, because the side hustle that I'm doing, it doesn't really require me to hire anyone. It's something that I can do myself, or within the group of people within my family, whatever the case may be. So inside of the side hustle mentality, it's definitely important to point out is that the responsibility piece of it, they don't want. And I totally respect it. I don't want to necessarily make it sound like, it's a fully bad thing. It's something that I respect because 10 years ago, in the early stages in my entrepreneurial journey, so I was that young entrepreneurial guy 10 years ago that when I first started my journey, I was that guy that I would look at people and I say, hey, why is there even people out here in the world working a 9 to 5 job? Everyone should go out and create their own business. Or why do you just have that side hustle? Why don't you scale it out and expand it? Things of that nature. And the truth of the matter is that years down the road, what I would actually tell you guys now is that the road that I took, creating businesses, riding that roller coaster, it is not for everyone. And it's something that is totally respectable. If you know that it's not for you, hey, don't even do it. But the premise of making this video and my YouTube channel as a whole is that for all of you guys out there that's watching, that definitely 100% inside of your heart that being an entrepreneur or business owner or whatever the case may be is something that you want to do. Taking on just a tad bit of responsibility is not going to be a deal breaker for you. This is your first time seeing me on YouTube, definitely go ahead and get subscribed to the channel. You can check out, all of the videos that I have. And of course, at the end, give this video a thumbs up if you guys have definitely found value from it. But going back into the main point of this video is when it comes to side hustles, how should you be using side hustles? Because the even worse thing to it that I want to point out is that you have a lot of newbie entrepreneurials, they're trying to get away from their 9-to-5 job and they're trying different things. I know many people, and this was also a phase along the way inside of my journey that I had to overcome, where it was like, I'm doing these side hustles. I'm not really doing it the correct business way, but it's leading me to the point where I'm trying so many different things. I'm jumping around, doing this, doing that, doing this, doing that, and it's a few different bad things about that, and I'm probably also going to make another YouTube video more detailed into breaking, that pattern down. But that is something that when you're sticking in this side hustle mentality, that you're going to be bouncing around from all these different things. Like with social media and everything that we have going on right now, you have a lot of people just coming out into the world, a young group, 18 to 25, whatever the case may be, that they're getting onto all of these different social media platforms and they're getting hit with all of these different opportunities when it comes down to, hey, are you looking to skip the 9-to-5 mentality? Do you want to do some Amazon drop shipping? Do you want to do some day trading? Do you want to create your own business, create drop shipping, do, multi-level marketing, whatever the case may be, but you guys get the point. So it's like, you jump into all of these different things and you never really create a solid foundation for yourself to the point where this is now actually, something that I've built, something that I have dedicated myself, 100% to. Big problems, in my opinion, when it comes down to side hustles. But in my all honest opinion, when it comes to side hustles, like I've said previously, it's not something that I am going to tell you guys, is a 100% bad idea, but a definite thing that I would like to point out for all of you newbie entrepreneurs out there is that when it comes to these side hustles, one thing that you should be using them as is a tester, because a lot of people would lead you to believe that people just woke up one day and they decided to become entrepreneurs, business owners, and the first business that they created was a success for them, and that was the business that they stuck with. Now, there are a lot of stories out there, but the truth of the matter is that there is a large percent of business owners, when they first started out inside of their journey, it was like they tried different things. They figured the businesses out. Along in that time, they also had the ability, to figure themselves out as well, to the point where it's like, this is what I do, this is what I like, and this is the business that I would like to have. And along with that, there are some other things that also definitely do come into play, like, as far as business numbers, what is the amount of money that I'm looking to make, and can this business actually create that for me? So now when you're in this side hustle phase, you try all of these different things out and you see, hey, you know what? This, and it also gives you the ability to learn a business, because a lot of times when people create all of these different side hustles, and it even translates into, creating businesses as well. You may be looking to start a side hustle or a business that you're not fully familiar with, and a lot of things is a learning game. And I'm going to give you guys a prime example, because inside of my eBay business that I have, I spent 3 years, and it was considered to be a side hustle for me, but I spent 3 years fully learning the business. I could have took any course, I could have looked at any social media videos, but the truth of the matter is that there was truly nothing like getting into the business, getting into the side hustle, and actually learning by actually doing it. Because problems came within the side hustle where it's like, they didn't talk about this in the online course. They didn't talk about this on any YouTube page or whatever the case may be. It was something that I had to learn within the business that they didn't mention, or they couldn't teach me, whatever the case may be. And many of you are going to also find that along the way in your journey. And those things that you learn along the way will either make you decide, hey, this is not going to be a side hustle or business that I will, continue to take part in, or it will give you the ability to say, hey, you know what? I didn't know that before, but it will now give me the ability within my side hustle or business to tweak, certain things along the way to make the process, make the business, just a tad bit better. So I definitely, to sum this video up, do not recommend, someone that's partaking in side hustles to do them and not really be able to take something from it and have a longer term, vision for it. But like I said previously, guys, if you found value in this video, do definitely go down below, get subscribed to the channel, and give this video a thumbs up. Money Making Joey, I'm out of here, and I will see you guys in the next one.